Warning: this show contains spoilers.
We're calling it the Idiot Hour?
Beluska, dude, I'll stay right here and play clarinet.
We'll get into all that in a future episode.
Ooh. Ladies!
Ladies!
Hi, Mom. Welcome back to a wonderful episode of the Idiot Hour. Justin made it on time. Congratulations, you were here.
I was locked out of my house.
Perseverance.
I'm dumb.
Perseverance.
I persevered, guys.
And he's eating a whole meal.
I haven't eaten today, so I'm eating high chews and pretzels and
Different kind of high.
Sabre.
And then also with us is Josh.
Intern Josh.
I didn't mess it up.
Well, I didn't
week.
We didn't give you the chance.
the witty banter.
But I was ready. I was ready to not mess it up this week.
Watch out for this guy. He's the crazy one. He'll say anything. He'll do anything. Watch out for this guy. He's the you're pushing the limits.
Look what he's
you
doing.
know?
I like the wide. Why'd you bring it in like that?
So I can
fine.
flex.
I don't have a short shirt on.
I don't have muscles, so it evens out. So this week on the episode of the Idiot Hour, we're going to dive straight into the greatest television show of all time.
The Wire. Oh, I'm sorry. That was a call.
Breaking Bad. We're going to get into The Office, the wonderful world of Dunder Mifflin, led by the leader of men, Michael Scott. We're going to...
What a guy.
I do believe that's how he sees himself. Yes.
What an intro.
Leader
Josh,
of men.
what is on the Rocket docket?
Yeah, so what we're going to do is we have a Sweet 16
Doobie.
of the greatest episodes of all time. We are going to then take it to a bracket. And we are going to attempt to figure out what is the greatest episode of all time. Now,
Pretend your parents give you a lemonade stand. I just saw that. I love this. This is going to be so fun.
so I have like the brief synopsis of all 16 episodes. So we'll just burn through those real quick. And then we'll start voting.
We should reenact a scene from each episode.
Well, let's start with Goodbye, Michael. I'll just cry the whole time, and then that's what we'll go with.
Yeah, go through your thing, because I got questions about that episode.
Okay.
Saying the word... The episode? Yeah, Sid.
Wait, this is in the top 16?
This is the top 16.
You don't think that Bye 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 Michael should be in the top 16?
I mean, I think there's a lot of other great episodes you could focus on.
So here's
Yeah, how did you rank?
here's where this
Where'd
list.
the ranking come from?
Was it Moorhead?
IMDb?
No, so the ranking comes from Watch Mojo, Nerdist, and the Office DB page, which is like Wikipedia's Office.
I would have preferred Wiki Office. but
Wiki,
it's-
whatever. Their general 5 stars, that kind of thing. So that's where the list is compiled from.
Is this starting
it's
at
not-
16, you said, too?
These are just
no order.
Okay, gotcha.
no
So-
order,
so
and they
it-
were randomized
It's
in
not,
the bracket.
not necessarily like the funniest episodes. It's
The
more
best.
like the overall best, maybe feel good moments.
And
Maybe
I think
saying-
that's where
saying
Goodbye,
goodbye to
Michael.
the best character on the show.
Well,
Right.
the Goodbye Michael episode, and I know you'll get into it, there were some very funny parts
oh, I'm sure
to that
there's
episode.
some parts of it.
Like Phyllis in her gloves.
Yeah.
Like the knitting cracks me up.
Great.
She's like, arthritis. He's like, well, Phyllis, okay. And he just takes them and they're half made. She's like, you have to hand wash them. You can't put them in a machine. And he's like, and you can just see in his head.
Like, why did I do this?
Yes. Sorry.
But yeah.
Go ahead, Josh.
It's a fucking the scene with him and Jim, and then him and Pam. Okay, go ahead. I'm gonna eat my Sabre.
Dunder Mifflin is a part of Sabre. Saber. Yo, beer me. Every week, Boyd gets in here and goes, yo, beer me that water. This is the greatest episode we'll ever have. We peaked.
Just love saying.
And Josh hasn't been able to do one thing he prepared, but we peaked.
sat in a Starbucks for 4 hours prepping 2 weeks worth of episodes, my brain is absolutely fried.
Hell yeah.
So here we go.
Brother.
When Steve Carell left The Office, the show's future was uncertain. Though the show continued for 2 more seasons without Carell, it was never the same. So Michael Scott's last episode as the boss of Dunder Mifflin had to be special. Instead of attending one of the party planning committee's signature soirees, Michael elected to leave a day early, giving personalized goodbyes to all the staff members. The episode concludes with a heartfelt, tear-jerking moment between Pam and Michael in the airport. Michael Scott's final lines are, "This is going to feel so good getting this off my chest," as he hands the mic to the production crew. Unmiked, you can read Carell's lips say, "That's what she said," which is his final line at that point in the series. So goodbye, Michael. We kind of already broke that down a little bit as to why that episode's so good.
Can I ask a question?
Absolutely.
I don't understand. Do you understand people that have not watched after Michael left?
No, I don't get it. I don't get that either.
No, it's lazy.
There's still some great episodes later on.
Some really good episodes.
I would argue some of the better ones from character development come later because guys like Kevin and Creed and Phyllis
get more.
Yeah.
Kevin in particular.
And I honestly have there's a few episodes where I just absolutely love Robert California.
Oh, he's one of the best.
It's so good.
So I should be transparent. All of the lists, none of them are after Michael leaves. There's not a single episode on here after Michael leaves.
I love when, I don't know the name of it, but Robert California's selling his house and they have the pool party.
The pool party.
Dude, is it just pool party? Okay, yeah, love it. Loved it. I love when they go down to Florida because it's just weird. It's just...
Florida Stanley.
Yeah, you won on your Florida team. Love it.
So good.
I think there's and Dwight shoots the gun.
Oh my God!
That's
a Beaumont
great.
Adams.
Yeah,
she collects them. It's it's a woman's gun.
And for me, I know nobody likes the Boom Guy Brian, but the plot line between Jim and Pam to me is really emotional to watch, and when he's "You're not enough. You are all I've ever wanted." I'm getting chills just thinking about it right now.
Paul Rudd once said that comedies have the best drama and dramas have the best comedy. And that relationship is one of the best dramatical understandings of an American relationship. And I loved it.
Paul Rudd, actor of a generation.
Just loved it, man.
Okay,
love Paul Rudd.
So Goodbye Michael is our first entrant into the Sweet 16.
Who would have thought? Not me.
Business school.
Well, no, because you locked yourself out of your house.
Season 3, episode 17.
Great episode.
This episode may best encompass everything we love about The Office, as Michael is giving a presentation at Ryan Business School, and Pam has an art show, because her art is the prettiest art of all the art there.
He said, "No, Belschnickel, that is not admirable."
Belschnickel is a later episode, too, without Michael. That's right.
Yeah.
As Michael Scott throws candy at people and rips up some poor kid's textbook, Pam struggles with the reality of what people in the office think of her.
Or even a whatchamacallit.
It's the beginning of Pam's biggest character arc, and Michael may be at his funniest and sweetest in the same episode. This one, I think, every single time you see one of the candies that Michael throws at the kids, you laugh. You just think about that moment.
Maybe you'll sell enough and one day you'll make $100,000.
Yeah.
My favorite thing is none of the kids broke.
No.
That's a very impressive thing, to have a room full of people getting candy tossed at them by Steve Carell and no one's... I'm sure they shot it a bunch of times, you know what I mean?
So many takes.
But still, impressive.
And he hits the one kid in the face.
Yeah.
Hard.
Domes him. But he comes in with the music playing, and it's like a pre-recorded motivational speech.
Stops him. Well, you see, he once went to a Tony Robinson convention. Well, actually, a Robbins convention.
There we go.
And then actually, it was about the show. He didn't actually see the show, Michael Scott. But he's a leader of people, and he feels like he's worked it into his leadership abilities.
So good, dude.
He's the man.
Leader of men.
Literally wrote a book about management called How Do I Manage?
I have my HBO comedy series. Here I go again. ...
That's one that's not in the Sweet 16 that is like right on the bubble for me. Because Date Mike is my favorite Michael Scott character, personally.
Date Mike's pretty great.
Yeah.
Prison Mike's also great.
Oh, trust me. Prison Mike's here.
Wish there was more of peeing.
I do declare there has been a murder in Savannah.
This is top 5 for me.
Really?
I love this episode. Because the dynamic of Michael being able to show Jim and teach Jim something about management in a situation that is crisis. And it's so Michael because he doesn't pull Jim aside and be like, hey, here's what we're going to do. He still thinks Jim is below him a little bit.
Absolutely.
So he's like, Jim needs to just listen to me, and they go through it. And Jim's trying to act like any human would. And when Jim does the analogy of mom and dad in the car, and dad just wants to get there, and mom's like, let's play a game. You need both of those. And I was like, that's, boom, perfect. Love it.
It also is the episode after when he goes into the woods to try to survive.
Yep.
So, all right. I do declare there has been a murder in Savannah. Michael starts an audio tape.
Saying it, you got to say it more molasses.
Molasses falling out of your mouth. Game to distract the staff from rumors of Dunder Mifflin filing for bankruptcy. Andy uses the game Southern Flavor as cover to ask out Aaron, but isn't sure if she thinks it's real. As Caleb Crawdad distracts the group, Jim tries to get to the bottom of the sale of the company. Michael and Jim co-manage their way through the rocky waters of the biggest transition in Dunder Mifflin history.
Boo boo mama juju. Oh, I love it, man. I love it when Dwight's like, it's not the person you would least expect. It's also not the person you would most suspect. It's the person you half expect. And it was Meredith, or no, Phyllis.
Phyllis.
Dude, it's just like...
And it is Phyllis. He's right.
Yeah. Every character is peak in my mind in this episode. And like the three-way guns at the end, like...
That's so
dude,
four.
Like, well, it's 4, and then,
and
then she gets pulled out, but then they all just start slowly walking.
Also, at the very beginning, because I always forget about this part, Creed walks into the office. He's like, sorry, I'm late, gang.
There's been a murder. Yep.
Books it out of the office.
Another one that's later. Wait, no, it might be in here.
It's Halloween.
The Halloween
one.
where Creed goes,
Convenient.
Halloween.
Perfect timing.
Perfect timing.
When the cops show up for the drug test, he's like, we're just going to sit here and act like we're talking about something. Creed is the best character on
When
the
he
show.
dyes his hair and goes, hey, R-Dog, get some bull in this thing. Some Red Bulls. Gotta ride the bull.
Am I right?
Straight black hair. So
Yes.
good.
Yeah.
Are we going to talk cold opens at all?
No.
We have to have another episode
Let's-
on cold
Absolutely.
opens.
I think so.
We
Because
could do the top cold opens.
you easily could, and I think top pranks and top moments, because
We'll do
I think
like 7 of these shows.
like literally you could do top moments that combine like, you know, the gun standoff with Bears beats Battlestar Galactica, like, you know what I mean?
Asian Jim.
Asian Jim's a good
Asian
one.
Jim is such a great one.
So good. Jim, I got that reservation at the restaurant. Oh, good. You're not Jim! And he pulls the kids, and it's Asian kids, and he's freaking out.
I saw that clip before I actually watched the show. So I was like, what? I like didn't understand.
You're like,
it.
how does he not know that's Jim? Like,
But like I knew the character Jim, so
Yeah.
I was like, to me, I was like, it made me want to watch the show. Same with Letterkenny. Like I saw a skit that I was like,
Yep.
I didn't know that was from Letterkenny, and then
Somehow
so
I
you're
made
in
it.
there.
Yeah.
I saw Riley and Jonesy, and then obviously was, you know.
There you go. That's what I mean.
All right. The Christmas party. Now, The Office is notorious for having a Christmas episode in all but 2 seasons. And it's my personal Christmas tradition to watch all of them during the holiday season. In fact, Beth Dubé, who just signed in, wife of Tom Dubé, the captain of the cornhole team, she and I and our significant others once attempted to win a Office Christmas trivia night. We only missed 2 questions, and we tied for like 15th.
No, I'm sure.
Jesus.
It was insane. I've never felt so inadequate in my entire life. All right. Michael hosts a Christmas party for the staff, but his gift-giving plans go awry when he receives an oven mitt from Phyllis after giving Ryan an iPod. So he institutes Yankee Swap and has people at each other's throats. This episode also features the infamous teapot and a note that Jim wrote to Pam, because Christmas is the time of the year you tell people how you really feel about them. Luckily, 15 bottles of vodka saved the day as Michael takes a series of awesome pictures on his digital camera.
Which, the best thing was that when they got released.
When they put them out.
That it's live. That there was a memory card in it. And somebody
they were disposables, brother.
No. It's a digital camera.
I thought I thought there was disposables from that.
That's episode. Aaron takes the pictures of the disposable cameras and throws it away.
Says, it'd be a lot better if you could see the pictures and then throws it away.
But I swear there was like one. Maybe I'm wrong.
I just know that Josh probably watched the show today, so I'm not second guessing him.
I did too, but not this specific episode.
Yeah,
you said I forgot we were doing that.
It's the
so I know. So I was watching something
because the line is even. I will be taking pictures with my digital camera. No one's making out in here yet, and he flashes it, and it goes. I mean, it's.
Yep.
But
is this enough alcohol to get an office full of 15 people drunk?
15 bottles of vodka? Absolutely,
should do it.
That should do it.
I love it, man.
That was like Beth knows. Beth, how much did Michael pay for the 15 bottles of vodka? She'll jump in the chat.
$217.83 is my guess.
I don't remember what it is, but like Beth knew it.
Beth, how much was the pizza? The total cost of the pizza from Pizza by Alfredo?
$63.75.
No, they had it. There you go. They had a coupon.
80 something, yeah.
A coupon. All right.
Is this your favorite Christmas episode, Josh?
No.
Okay.
My personal favorite Christmas episode is Belschnickel.
I love that. I like the doling parties.
Oh yeah.
With
that's a good one.
Belschnickel is so good though.
Well, and as a agent of Santa Claus and a diehard just anything weird German bullshit, I'm all about that episode because a lot of it's real.
Isn't that the Die Hard episode too?
Yes, because Pete's telling Aaron to plot the Die Hard.
Plop.
He said, Andy forgot my name is Pete.
The Dundies. It's the Dundies time.
Dundies.
Dunder Mifflin's annual awards banquet, and the staff must endure the wow, I don't even know what that word is. Performance of their inept MC and boss, Michael Scott. This is really important episode because Pam kisses Jim on the mouth. It's not considered the quote-unquote first kiss, even though this episode is before Casino Night. But it is legendary, and they literally sell Dundies at Target for $30 a pop.
Did you see that last year, Chili's
reinstated Pam?
They did. I did see that.
Legendary, man.
I feel the love in this Chili's tonight.
Just legendary.
It's
it's so bad.
You're welcome.
It's pretty awesome. Just like the whole bit, like the guy booing him, and like the weird skits he's doing, and like it's all
hottest in the office. Ryan. Yep. I love that Ryan gets upset when Danny Cordray wins it later in the show. Yeah. He's like, what is hot? Like, that's so arbitrary. Like, it's not okay.
I love Ryan's, like, all of his just...
character development.
When they cut, like, the episode I watched today when he came back after being the what was he, the CFO?
Yeah.
Whatever they made him. And he came back to be the...
VP. Youngest VP. Youngest VP.
He came back to answer phones. And Jim was like, he was like, oh, yeah, I've even been giving back to my community and, doing some volunteer work. And Jim's like, you mean the court-ordered volunteer work? He's like, I don't need a court to tell me what to do. He's like, but they did, though, didn't they? And then it just cuts to him, like, writing Jim's name on the list.
I love when he walks in. He goes, Michael, you have a goatee. Did you get that after you helped me move in? Michael's like, yeah.
I have a goatee? He's like, over the goatee. It's so good. Kevin comes up to me. He's like, fired guy. It's so good.
But the Dundies, the reason I like, one of the reasons I also love it is that Stanley, he's like, oh, you didn't bring your, he's like, you mean the woman's hand I'm holding, Michael? Because wasn't that episode where he's like, I wish your wife could have came, and he's holding Terry's hand, and
she's like, my wife is here, Michael.
Yeah, my wife is here, Michael, because she's white. So Michael assumes Stanley was with a black woman. And he goes, do you mean this woman's hand I'm holding, Michael?
And then, Stanley's,
Whore.
Yeah.
Let's see. Dundee.
Jesus, and this Chili's tonight. There it is. All right.
Get out of here, bud.
Okay.
Yeet.
Dwight, you ignorant slut.
Mental head injury.
After being humiliated by Daryl during the warehouse safety training course, Michael attempts to show the warehouse workers how dangerous the office can be due to depression. We also find out in this episode that Daryl is secretly teaching Michael urban lingo. Duncan Flicka.
Give me some.
This is up there for me because like even how Daryl got hurt, that Michael kicked the ladder down and yelled, "Daryl, how's it hanging?" He's like trying to play.
The mic was like, "Oh, is it hanging, Daryl?" It just can't contain the laugh. It's so good.
What's
like, he's not allowed to play with the baler.
The baler, that's it. Yeah. He's like, but what do you say, Mudge? Mudge can.
Yeah.
He's like.
I don't even remember her name. I just remember it's Mudge.
Midge. She's like, my name Midge. Wait, that is her name, right?
Yeah, that's her real name.
He calls her like Mudge or something, and she goes, "My name's Midge." And he's like, "Really?" And it's dude.
Well, and Patrice O'Neal maybe at his best in the show.
Yeah.
Because then he's like, "What's his name, Michael? He helped you move a couch last week. What's his name, Michael?" He's like, "That's really weird because his name is also Michael."
Yeah. I bet you love to swim with the sea monster.
Yeah. So yeah, safety training.
Yep.
The injury. Season 2, episode 12. Michael has a mishap with a George Foreman grill and burns his foot. Dwight gives himself a concussion attempting to rescue Michael from his tragic event. Michael tries to gain sympathy from the office by holding a conference room meeting where he talks about crippled people with special guest speaker Billy, the building manager, who is paralyzed from the waist down. This is also the episode where we realize that Pam and Dwight are actually friends. This episode concludes with Dwight stealing Michael's signature line at the hospital.
How long does it take you to do something a normal human can do, like brush your teeth? 30 seconds. That is 3 times longer than it takes me. 6 pieces of bacon.
It's
such a good concept for him.
So sue me. I like the smell of it. It's like it's so good.
But like he walks
in.
he
says he doesn't have a butler. That's why he has to do it.
Yep. But he walks in and you just hear like pop, pop, and he's like, "Jim, can you not pop my cast, please?" And Jim's just popping the packing. Oh, dude, that's so good.
It's that whole episode is really like. Ryan is like getting sent all around the place to find the yams.
The gas station in Carbondale didn't have yams.
Yeah. It's weird because they always have yams.
Yeah. He's like, I did what I did to my dog. I crushed up 3 baby aspirin and mixed it in with his pudding.
Yeah. It's that episode also is like Jim not messing with Dwight for the first time. And like watching because when Jim comes back with Karen is when Dwight and Pam kind of start to connect, and they really connect when Jim's away at Stanford. So it's cool to see that relationship start to blossom, and that relationship pays off so much further down the road.
Yeah.
And like where literally in the finale, Dwight goes, "My assistant manager just married my best friend."
And I think like for me, the first time that they were like. So in this one, it's interesting to start it up because she does say, "I'm just saying bye because things are going to be different because he's concussed." But when he becomes manager in theory because Michael goes to interview and she's the secret number 2 or whatever it is, that I loved it. Oh, I love that episode.
Absolutely, I do.
Couldn't tell.
Yeah.
That's a good episode.
Absolutely, I do.
If Jim said anytime Dwight asked me to do something, answer, "Absolutely, I do." Yes!
The Michael Scott Paper Company. Now, this is a sweeping arc of 4 or 5 episodes, but we're going to use the actual Michael Scott Paper Company episode.
Yep.
It's Britney, bitch. The Michael Scott Paper Company is in full effect. He's listening to Lady Gaga.
Yeah.
And then he pulls in. It's this huge spot. Hits both sides. He goes, "I'm not going to make this one." That is my favorite cold open because it just every time
it
just kills me. It's Britney, bitch. Listen to Lady Gaga. Anyway, the Michael Scott Paper Company is in full effect as Michael attempts to steal clients from underneath Dunder Mifflin. Michael hosts a pancake luncheon to promote his new company. The pancakes are shaped like pieces of paper.
I love it. I love everything about it.
Dwight and Andy find themselves in competition for a girl yet again, while Jim is confused when a rundown is requested to him by Charles.
Charles is one of the most interesting characters. Well, you're supposed to.
I don't like Idris Elba in that role.
I thought he was perfect.
He was great.
You hate
him because you're supposed to hate him.
That's how good he was.
You hate him because he's that asshole and he treats Jim like shit. So you're like, fuck this guy.
Especially when it gets to the volleyball picnic episode, where he's like, "Look who just woke up. I've been up for a while." And you're like, "Fuck."
But I love that line.
Yeah,
I say that shit all the time. I've been up for a while. People are like, that's not a reference to anything. I'm like, it is.
It is. But my favorite thing is when they just.
I just love when Jim is pretending to play. So he's like,
he cuts to Andy, and he's just watching a slideshow of soccer players, not a video, not just them. And he goes, "Yeah. It's my hidden secret or whatever," and he's like, "Yeah, it was in Germany." He's like, "That should have been me. That should have been me there."
Yeah,
it's just so it's a PowerPoint.
My favorite
just pictures.
My favorite though is Stanley has the notes.
Yep.
Pele, you mean the Brazilian striker?
Yeah.
And then Andy's like, he's just like, oh, he's like, yeah, that's Pele.
Yep.
You mean the Brazilian striker?
It's just.
Yeah.
But the
Stanley's
thing,
great.
why I loved the Michael Scott Paper Company, and also like the whole saga of it, was because, like, I can't remember. I think it was it before this that he went to Canada? Mm-hmm. So
That's why he quits.
yeah,
Yeah, because they sent Holly away.
because this was finally Dunder Mifflin understanding what Michael Scott meant. Like in a weird way, because like Canada, you're right, he left because of that and then all that stuff, and then he started his own company, and he comes back and he's like, I will just continue to make. He goes, I have unlimited number of names, and he goes, Michael, that's one of them. Yeah, and it's just like unlimited company names.
Michael, that's one of them.
Oh, I love it.
Well, there's like just paper. Like there's like so many ridiculous names. That he has.
They take the van from the Korean church or whatever, and the lady gets in, and they're just like, oh, okay.
Sorry. It's
that Pibber.
It's the best arc in all of the entire show, basically.
Well, and
the Michael Scott Paper
the
Company.
end of it finishes right on, and I'm sorry if you have this, the Willy Wonka episode, because it's Casual Friday. That's it.
Yeah.
And then doesn't Willy Wonka come after that, or no? Maybe I'm crazy. It's Casual Friday that comes after
Casual
that.
Friday is the end of the arc.
And it's so perfect because he comes back, he initiates something good, and then Toby crushes it. And you're like, well, Toby.
Well, because Meredith's boobs are out.
Meredith, too far.
Yes.
The Convict, Season 3, Episode 9.
This is a great episode.
Angela notices that the company is receiving a government stipend for hiring an ex-convict. When Michael forces Martin to admit he is the former convict, he gets more than he bargained for. As Martin tells his co-workers about his time in Da Clink, the office begins to believe that prison is better than work. This forces Michael Scott to bring in his greatest guest speaker ever, Prison Mike. Prison Mike recants his time in prison, telling the office workers about gruel sandwiches, accidentally dropping the soap, how Ryan would be da bella da ball.
Da bella da ball.
And the worst part of prison being the Dementors.
Oh, dude, when he said Dementors the first time, oh my God, I lost it.
The Dementors.
Oh, dude, that was so good.
Well, so you know that Prison Mike actually never got caught for the crime he committed to go to prison.
I was so mad Prison Mike never came back, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Because Date Mike had like 2 iterations. So it was the pool house and then Santa, the cool Santa, where he had the cane hat. The hat is what sets it for me.
Did you ever realize that the hat, he just like stapled felt to it?
Yeah.
It's not a different hat. It's a
red felt.
Wow. I don't think I ever noticed that, honestly.
Dude, I had to watch a YouTube video that was like things you didn't know. And
it's the same hat.
Prison Mike was so good because it was like somebody was outshining Michael, and this is what he does.
Yeah.
He will not be outshone, even if it's about going to prison.
It's one of the best. The Bella the Ball. Stress relief.
The best opening. Because that was an opening, right?
No.
The opening was good because it was fire.
Right.
The fire.
There's the fire.
Amazing. But that was the best single scene, and I'll let you get through it.
Okay. So after Dwight gives Stanley a heart attack during an impromptu fire drill.
Sang the wrong song.
The Office goes through a series of wacky trainings. The best being CPR training, where the group breaks into a full-blown rendition of the Bee Gees' Staying Alive, as Dwight cuts the face off of a CPR mannequin.
I used to be alone. I was petrified.
The story's second part centers around Michael allowing his employees to roast him. Oscar screams at Michael in Spanish. Pam tells everyone that Michael's thing is the equivalent of an iPod shuffle. Dwight tells him he's a small man with no land. And finally, the straw is broken as Andy sings What I Hate About You as everyone sings along.
That was so good.
The next day, Michael doesn't show up for work. Instead, he feeds the birds in the park and reflects on his feelings. As he has a loaf of bread, he's just throwing slices of bread on the ground. He returns triumphantly to deliver the sickest burn ever uttered by man. Stanley, you crush your wife during sex and your heart sucks. Boom, roasted.
I love when they're laying on the ground and the closer he gets to Stanley, his heart monitored. Yeah. And it's just like Jim just like looks and it's correlation. But that so the opening of this, where he's like, fire or smoking kills, not today, and throws it, and it's just the whole iteration of Oscar. Lift me up. You're too heavy. I only weigh 82 pounds. And like she throws the cat and
cat going up through
and Creed just screaming because the feet come through.
Yeah.
And Jim being like, I'm not dying like this and saving it. And just everything about it, dude, is so funny.
Well, and so this is shot in season 5. But that shot of Dwight is in the open where he's like heating
the door handles.
So do you think they shot that cold open way earlier and then like built a story around it later?
Probably. What season does it start? Because the early rendition...
Yeah, the earlier intro
is him
different.
Filing or shredding.
Yes. Yeah. So
they use that for like the first 2 or 3 seasons.
I agree that they probably shot that and saved it for the right moment.
Right. Because, I mean...
They probably shot hella cold opens. And just
it's
random
probably a good
scenes
point. I wonder what the...
Because that could have been a cold open by itself without Stanley getting hurt.
That could have been a whole episode that never happened, too. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
but my favorite part of it is literally like, they go to corporate because of the fire. They come back, and he goes, Clarence. And he goes back to corporate and just keep bouncing to New York. Yeah, dude.
Did you need to cut the face off the dummy?
we have to harvest his organs.
Is it an organ donor? Yeah, I got the wallet. Or Creed, I stole the wallet. He's an organ donor.
Yeah.
We have 15 minutes.
The fact that Kelly stands up and starts dancing. Ooh, you can lose a walking man. The time is up.
That's so good.
It's alright. It's okay.
Still don't know the words.
So good. Everyone just like,
just shut.
Oh, so good.
Buddy, it's gonna be hard to beat.
Me the world was gonna roll me.
Surplus.
Lemonade stand is the greatest analogy he ever says.
Season 5, episode 10. Oscar informs Michael that the office must spend a cash surplus or lose it in next year's budget. Now explain to me like I'm 4 years old. The perfect bottle episode as Jim and Oscar attempt to convince Michael to buy a new copier for the office, while Pam attempts to get Michael to buy new chairs.
Hey, hot tie guy.
Michael is torn between the warring factions. Even after he enlists the help of Hank the security guard, he's still unable to come up with a solution. Let me see the chair again. Get out. While the main group is tied up in this, Dwight takes Angela and Andy to Shroot Farms to work on their wedding plans, where he marries Angela. Possibly the most memorable lesson from this episode is that if you go to Burlington Coat Factory with $645,
you are literally a king. Josh, I'm so glad you put that in there.
It's my favorite. Like, every time I pass a Burlington Coat Factory, it plays through my head.
I think my favorite thing is the blood.
Oh, yeah.
Like, he's like, he bought it, has it, fake blood. And just the whole Jim and Pam going against each other, Oscar being a commanding force, the fact that the office is split. That episode, and he's explaining to Hank the surplus. He goes, I know what a surplus is.
It's like if your mom gives you like a lemonade stand, he's like, I know.
My favorite is when Jim brings her back the tiramisu.
And throw out a piece of tiramisu just because there's a little hair in it.
Oh, yeah, the fact that Michael eats it later. But my favorite part of that is Jim hands her the tiramisu, and she goes, tiramisu, yummy. And then drops it in the trash can, like, just doesn't even, hard sells it. And then he's like, you look very pretty today. And she goes, thank you. And then it goes in, like, that little exchange between the two of them is my favorite
Pam was
part.
Electric. And also the whole, get close and be like, I'm actually going to need 4 copies of it. Because she makes copies now because it's an old machine. But, man, just the whole... Oh, I love that episode. I love Michael.
It's the perfect bottle episode because it doesn't go... Well, it technically shows up again later when Pam and Dwight try to put the copier together and he reads the German instructions.
Yep. He's like, I don't know how to say it. I just know how to read it.
Yeah.
Ooh.
It's a fake steering wheel, you idiot.
Dwight, come inside. Do you want us to crash?
Michael takes the staff on a motivational cruise aboard a party boat, but seems to be distracted by, among other things, a limbo contest and Pam and Roy setting the date to their wedding. This is one of the,
A-W-E-S-O-M-E. Awesome. We're so superstar. Fudge.
Yeah.
Almost.
I know. I did really well.
Almost.
Piss slop who cares, huh?
It's probably Roy at his best.
Yes.
And it's really like when they're out on the when Jim and Pam are out on the stern and they're like having that weird conversation. The only better part is when she jinxes him and she's like, "It's like you want us to say something but you just can't." And then that weird awkward tension that happens is awesome.
Like, you serious?
Right. But Jim had a pretty big bet on the line in that episode. He was going to give the crew his entire next paycheck if Michael didn't say, "I'm king of the world" in the first 5 minutes.
And he just goes, Now, one of the other reasons I love the Booze Cruise is because the guy jumps off. It's like one of the first times you get to see the Office characters interact with other humans.
Right.
And the fact that he's like, the boat is sinking. And everyone's just jumping off
just
deck.
running away.
And I forget the actor's name, but Captain Jack, that dude is amazing.
Yeah, he's great in that episode.
Kobayashi. And later, but hysterical. I love it, man. The analogy, everything about the boat. Amazing. Who would you save? The customer.
Because customer is king. I would save the secretary. The Office was never able to... Oh, Niagara, Season 6, Episodes 4 and 5. The Office was never able...
These just out of curiosity?
Combined?
Yeah, so because stress relief is also a two-parter.
It's a to-be-continued, so yeah, it'll...
The Office was never able to replicate the love affair between Jim and Pam, despite their attempts with the rest of the cast. This moment stood out above all else. Jim spills the beans to Mima about Pam being pregnant. Andy rips his scrotum. Dwight sleeps with Isabel. Kevin's shoes get thrown away. The Office ruined Jim and Pam's wedding. Michael sleeps with Pam's mom. And most importantly, Jim and Pam get married on a boat in the Niagara Falls.
All of the things you listed, nothing is more surprising than Dwight having sex.
But being good at it.
What's her name?
Isabel.
Isabel, thank you.
And he's eating breakfast the next morning. He's like ravished from a night of loving.
Michael's like, "What are you wearing?" He's like, "It's hounds. It symbolizes." Dude. Oh,
so good.
Or when Michael, twins. And he's like, "I'm sorry, I have to, twins. You understand.
You understand.
And it's just two guys. And Dwight's like, Aren't they fascinating?
He's like, I love a set of twins.
Or Andy being like, all right, come invite all the hot people you know, and also like $40 for alcohol. No one here has really been to a Bernard banger, and it's just, oh, dude, what else you got?
And, the whole dance sequence.
Oh, it's amazing.
Oscar voguing, and then Andy kicking. No, who gets kicked in the face? Phyllis gets kicked in the face, right? No. Who gets kicked in the face? Shit.
I'm trying to think.
I'm trying to think of the kick in the face.
Yeah.
I remember Oscar voguing. I don't remember the kick in the face.
Oh, you're talking about coming down the aisle.
Yeah.
Oh,
Who is Oscar? Is Oscar kick somebody in the face?
No, it's, wow, I can't think of her name right now. The receptionist that Andy ends up with first. Aaron kicks someone, doesn't she?
I don't remember.
Oh, man.
I love that it's to Chris Brown, though.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Yeah, look.
Why don't we have someone in the chat who's an expert? More than us.
That's supposed to be me, too.
Yeah, it should be you. Letting us down. A real disappointment.
Isabella gets kicked in the face.
By Dwight.
Because, and Isabella's a dentist, which Dwight thinks is for kids. Which
But
he's like,
why would I come visit you?
He's like, why don't I even come by and get my teeth checked sometime? I know it's for kids, but she's like, no.
My dentist's name is Crentist.
But
maybe that's why he became a dentist.
He looks. Your dentist's name is Crentist. He looks at Pam's mom and goes, "Do you have a snack?"
Oh yeah.
She's like, "What?" And he goes, "You're a mom. Moms have snacks." And she goes, "Yeah, here." And he goes, "Apricot." Ugh. And then still eats it.
But then he eats it, but then he goes like. He's like sticking his tongue out. Also, when Jim's brothers go, "Are you Michael Scott?" And then he's like,
"Do you have a whoopee cushion?"
We heard you may have a whoopee cushion.
Oh man,
it's awesome. Yeah.
Or when they start the rumor that Andy got his balls cut off.
Really, the best part is Kevin with the shoes. And then he's like, and then what's he say? He's like, I got
these dogs are open.
He's like, these dogs are barking. Yeah. And he puts them in the ice machine.
I got
six numbers. One more.
And a whole phone number. This is okay. I have to set it right here. There is another one left to be named. This is my favorite episode.
This is it?
This is my number one draft power ranking, everything in the world.
I haven't even, you can see them coming? I see what you're saying.
But I saw that before.
Right.
Michael and Jan seem to be playing a party of their own.
Are you supposed to read the episode first?
Oh, Dinner Party. Season 4, Episode 13. Michael and Jan seem to be playing their own game. It's called Let's See How Uncomfortable We Can Make Our Guests.
Fired guy.
After an elaborate ruse to force everyone to work late on a Friday, Michael finally gets Jim and Pam to come over for dinner. Joined by Andy and Angela, we get so many amazing moments from this episode. We find out about Michael Scott's plasma TV, Serenity by Jan's startup candle company, and Hunter's hit song, That One Night.
Changed my life. You took me by the hands. Made me a man. That one night, you made everything alright. So I will go get everyone a beer if you can name the album title of Hunter. It's on the CD.
Oh, it's like something The Hunted, or
it is The Hunted.
It is The Hunted. Yes. Let's go.
I told you that too, which is why I'm upset.
Oh. But yeah, this episode just rocksters your boxers.
It's a classic because when Jan's like, whenever I get stressed or anything, I come in here and I smell my candles.
And then she just mid-party lights a candle and like,
it's so good. Like, I love when they give the tour to it. Michael's like, this is where I sleep.
Yeah.
He's like, you sleep on that? It's like, yeah, it's actually bigger than it looks,
Yeah.
It's so, there's so many little parts that are great.
When he dips his steak into the wine because he's got soft teeth.
You know I have soft teeth. Why would you say that?
So good. Thank you. It's
Miller Lite.
I own the house. All right, so back to this episode. I can't tell you my favorite part, but I can go through a lot of them.
you don't have shortness of breath from running up the steps. You have shortness of breath from like getting it all out at once.
Episode, yeah. So I love. Where do you want to start of the tour, babe? I don't care, babe. You decide. Upstairs it is, babe. Okay, babe. But even like, Pam, I can't prove it, but I think she's been trying to poison me. And Pam's like, I'm not saying she is going to poison me, but if she was going to poison someone. And there is a cut scene that they do a million times where Jim and Pam are in the corner upstairs sharing a granola bar.
Yeah.
And she comes around and them just bursting out laughing. Like her dancing with Jim where he's sitting on the couch and she just picks up his hand. And
during Hunter's song.
He's just like that and Pam in Spain sometimes they don't eat dinner until midnight.
Yes.
And Pam's like, I don't even care.
And then Michael Scott says, when in Rome.
Hey, I'll be your first customer.
Yeah.
You burn it, you buy it. You're hardly my first. It just, they are amazing. That whole exchange.
The duo of them is really quite brilliant.
Well, you have like every great dynamic in there too.
Right.
You have like Jim and Pam, you have Michael and Jan, like, and then you.
She says, "I'm married to the devil," and Andrew's like, "I wouldn't joke about that." And it's.
Like, and then Dwight brings his babysitter. It's like
Jim goes, "Could you write your email down? I just have so many questions." Email?
Yeah. God.
Like when Dwight comes to the door, like it's so goofy, and he's like, "I brought my own wine glasses." Like
you said that I didn't have a date, and you didn't have wine glasses. This is a dinner party, right? Are we not having a party and eating?
But then he has his own dinner.
Man, beets. And he's like, "Do you want some of my beet salad, Andrew?" She's like, "I want to eat your beets forever." And he's like, "You used to love my beets."
Yeah.
Or where they show where Michael's bed is, and he lays.
We talked about that when you went to get the beers. So good.
How many times have you been at a party where you are playing a game and you've gone it's my turn?
Honey, whoa, just a lot.
No, Jim was laughing. Look at him.
Oh my God.
Look at him. He's laughing right now.
Where Andy's like, he makes it be Joe Camel for Joe Namath. And it's just like, or whatever it is. But then the charades thing where he says, Kate Hudson. No, she's married to him. Dude, that's why this is my favorite. There's another one that you will name that I love, but this is the best. This is the most peak cringe on a show that celebrates cringe.
I don't think it's the most cringe. I think that it's the best executed cringe. Scott's Tots to me is the most cringe.
Agreed, but the pain of the cringe is higher, but it's one person.
Right.
And this one, like, they are all like, everyone's been to a dinner party where you're like, all right, like, are we gonna eat? Like,
yeah.
All right. Or you've been on to a holiday with your significant other's family, and you're like, yo, do you guys ever like actually eat the food? Like,
or like, are you guys just kind of like argue in front of us?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
Is this gonna get any less awkward?
So perfect.
And I tried to find it.
But he said, I'll take the fall when the cops came. And they're like, sir, you don't have to. Nobody has to take the fall. I'm sorry, Josh.
I couldn't find it. And I thought it was a Screen Rant, that YouTube channel, but it wasn't. Somebody did a diagnostic breakdown of the script. And there are more set-up punchline jokes in 30 minutes of this episode than any other sitcom on television.
I believe it.
I can't remember what the number is, but it's like over 200.
Yeah.
I mean, it's really it's the rules of comedy, are well established, but it breaks all of them and makes it brilliant because of it.
But from the start, where he's like, "No, we don't want to work." He's on the phone with corporate,
yeah.
And then Jim's like, "Yeah, I think." He's like, "You have no plans," and Jim's like, he really orchestrated this whole thing to make us have to do it.
Yeah,
like,
I mean, it's the beginning.
Well, we're
of
not doing it, okay?
Yeah, the beginning of it
These
all the
people
way.
are my friends. I care about them.
Well, and even back to the callback of Michael sticking his head out the window of Dwight's convertible, because like when he's going to the testimony on behalf of Jan, he wants to put the top down because he's car sick. So he's sticking his head out Dwight's window because he's car sick Just like the whole, and Angela smacking the ice cream cone against the fucking car because Andy licked it. Like, it's perfect. Anyway,
the screen door because the ice cream truck.
If there was an episode to beat it, though,
this is my number 2.
Threat level midnight. It's a threat. A level threat. After years of preparation, Michael finally debuts his completed action movie, Threat Level Midnight, as we finally get to see snippets of one of the longest running jokes in The Office. Michael comes to the reality that his movie sucks as everyone eats it up. We get the privilege of seeing former stars of the show reappear throughout the movie. The entire thing is now on YouTube, and I highly recommend it to any Office fan.
This was the reason that I think this could beat Dinner Party. Every show does a weird spin-off type of thing. My only problem is I almost wish they showed more of the YouTube movie in the episode.
Yeah.
Because, like, I love when shows do, like, the one character had a dream, and now we're just going to have fun this episode. The YouTube movie was perfect.
It really is.
Did you watch it?
No, I didn't know that there was, like, a whole version.
They dropped the movie.
On
it's
YouTube.
Like 26 minutes.
Damn, did not know that.
Yeah,
Bro.
It's you can tell that, like, they shot a lot of it.
I wrote a blog about
like
it.
retroactively.
I don't read your blogs.
But there is part of it that like is
Uno.
shot in the moment. Like it's really funny because like Karen's particular, her moment, you ever sleep with a bunch of bachelorettes, baby? That's actually shot while she's still on The Office.
Yeah.
But her reacting to it is clearly Anne, and she's outside of City Hall in Parks and Rec. She's in the courtyard. You can't tell because they're so punched in.
She looks like she's out of a grocery store.
It is Parks and Rec's
Really?
main building.
Do you know what it looks like she's getting?
It does.
Yeah, that's interesting.
But it's literally on the set of Parks and Rec.
I believe it though.
Because Parks and Rec has started at this point.
Yeah. I think the thing I love, like, because you hear about Threat Level Midnight, and it's so funny to me. The one part that I find interesting, I don't believe that Dwight still took that role after the name switch in the original, even though it's a less mess-up character. DeWitt. With Samuel L. Chang. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I'm trying to, like...
I forget it, brother. Like, basically, Samuel L. Chang is causing the downfall of America, and it was called Dwight, and he did a search and find, but spelled Dwight wrong.
Right.
So I don't believe that Dwight in the movie is still that Samuel L. Chang, but you have to know that's the same character-esque, and the whole, like, he was a robot, isn't a robot, kind of is a robot thing, like... It surprised me that Dwight's character didn't still feel some type of way, but it's also his character development, if that makes sense. Maybe I'm reading too much into it, but you need to watch the YouTube video.
I'll have to watch it.
Oh, my God, it's amazing.
Mr. Scarn.
I think...
You hear why he's golden-faced, too, which is big.
Yeah. How he became golden-faced. Not why Jim's golden-faced, but
But he was trying to impress the receptionist.
Right. I think I'm going to have to go back, meditate on that, because I would like to write if I ever got my master's in anything film related, my thesis would be on why Dwight Schrute is the most perfect character ever written. Because his arc is one of the best arcs in film and TV history. Like, it really is.
I like him in Florida, which says a lot to most people, but like, because that's almost to the tail end of him, and then to redevelop back is like we're getting into different things now, but the karate where he wants to get his belt in the place he loves the most, and but even in this episode, like, Dwight is so happy, and normally, like, Dwight doesn't like to mess around at work, and you can even see in this one he's so happy to be a part of that. So yeah, agreed.
The final of the entrant of the Sweet 16.
Lady Fortune is your mistress.
Casino Night. Season 2, Episode 22. Dunder Mifflin holds a casino night in the warehouse to benefit charity. While Michael faces the task of juggling 2 dates, Jim is forced to ponder the reality of transferring to Stamford Branch and what it would mean with his relationship with Pam. Creed wins Casino Night by stealing everyone's chips, and we get the first official kiss between Jim and Pam.
I think it might have been you that brought up to me. It was either you or I found it on the internet or something, but I feel like we talked about this. Why Bob Vance says Bob Vance Refrigeration.
Oh, no, I didn't.
Oh, you don't know that?
No.
Okay, so
I do.
You know?
I know why, yeah.
Bob Vance understands that they're taping a show. It's a marketing ploy to keep pumping his company's name.
Like, he gets that The Office is being filmed, so he's like, anytime he's on the show, or like not on the show, but like in and around the cameras, he's always like Bob Vance, Vance Refrigeration.
That's why Bob Vance of Vance Refrigeration gave away the fridge at this one. That's why Bob Vance of Vance Refrigeration has done everything, which makes you think, why do you marry Phyllis? Because he cheats on her with the receptionist, which is not actual, but you think he's an idiot, right?
Yeah.
Because when he goes, what line of work you in, Bob? Like, when Ryan says that back to him, you're like, haha, this dude's such a pompous jackass, but, like, he knows that we're watching a TV show.
Well, and that joke is so deeply rooted. And that's, like, when they do the garage sale later and the plasma screen's on the table.
Yeah. The Dundies screen, yeah. Oh, I love it.
I mean, there's so many little jokes that are, like, the longest running jokes.
Yep.
And the longest one is season 2, episode 1. Dwight says that Schroets get married standing in their graves.
Yep.
And in the finale, he gets married to Angela standing in his grave. And that, to me, is the best part of The Office, is that they laid down a joke as a throwaway, and then they always bring it back. It's really great.
Back to Casino Night.
Yeah.
Billy, your nurse is super hot. I laughed so hard. Because it's not my nurse, it's my girlfriend. I met her at a Chili's. She was my waitress. And it's just Michael just being Michael. Oh, and him and Toby and Kevin getting beat by Phyllis, those were my two favorite parts, like, dynamically. I'm going to chase that. Okay, Scran Strangler.
Yeah. It's, yeah. And who do you think is the Scranton Strangler?
I'm on board with the Toby theory.
So there's a couple other very good theories. The reason I'm on board with the Toby one is because they're at his desk, he's not there. You know, like the obvious stuff.
The car.
The Pam, the car, he's not at the day that the baby's born was the Strangler's first. You know what I mean? Like it seemed pretty easy to get there for me. Are you a Gaber?
I'm a Jimmer.
Okay.
So I don't know if I've heard this one.
I've heard Gabe. I've not heard Jim.
So Jim,
he killed on the morning of his daughter's birth.
Gabe sucks.
Well, Gabe does suck.
I love him so much. Get out of here with the candle.
I think of myself as the toilet of The Office.
There's a whole theory. There's a whole theory where when Jim's in Philly, he's not actually in Philly. That he's the Scranton Strangler at that point.
But so Scranton Strangler happened way before Philly.
And then Jim's like a copycat killer.
Okay. Were there any deaths?
Yeah, there's like deaths when Jim's in Philly.
Okay.
Because that's when Toby also goes to the trial.
Oh, because he has jury duty, right? That was
right for the Scranton Strangler. I'll find it and I'll send it to you. Nerdist did a whole video about how Jim is the
The worst part for me at The Office is trying to match when the episode is in the timeline.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because I'm like, okay, Andy was manager because he watched that little Tookus run up the jail stair. Like, you know what I mean? I'm trying to piece it. But that makes sense. I'd watch it. I've heard Gabe is a big one. I've heard Creed be one just because he's Creed. Which I love that they literally tie in the grassroots into the show. It's dope. I went and saw him in Southside when he was here. Amazing. He was awesome.
I'm sure it was great.
Great show, great comedy. But back to Casino Night, man. Great job, Josh. Way to add that one in there because that was a perfect episode.
So now we got to pick winners.
It's a good thing there's three of us.
Goodbye, Michael versus Casino Night.
Casino Night.
Casino Night.
Okay. All right.
Do we want to rotate who picks first and second? That way it's not...
Doesn't really matter to me.
Sorry.
Okay.
Well, I think if we really get into a debate, we'll know.
Fine. You don't want an opinion? That's cool.
I mean, this one's...
Business School versus Threat Level Midnight.
It's Threat Level Midnight. We got a freaking heater in the second round for me, but Threat Level is my number 2 episode of all time.
Yeah, I want to go Threat Level as well, I think.
Because Business School has a couple very funny things where he's ripping the pages out the book and the candy, but Threat Level Midnight, that's a part of it.
This one
Dinner Party
is a tough matchup for Murder. Because Murder is one of my favorites.
This is my 1 and 3, but it's Dinner Party. But it's got to
be Dinner Party.
That's my 1 and 3, and it's...
Yeah, it's unfortunate.
You said this was randomized?
Yeah, totally randomized. It's not the psychic just automatically getting a first round bye somehow type scenario. That was the best. So we were at the Super Bowl party, Boyd, and this guy comes up to me and he's like, "You're on the Idiot Hour, right?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And he's like, "You guys got the right type, but you went about it the totally wrong way." And I'm like, "Oh, okay." Like, thanks.
All right.
Thanks for watching the show.
Someone told me yesterday, get me on the Idiot Hour. I got shit going on in my head.
Oh.
Like, I love you.
Christmas Party versus Niagara.
I'm going Niagara.
I'm going Christmas Party.
That's what I wanted you to pick. I want this to happen. I know where he's going.
I'm going to take a mental picture of this as Niagara progresses. For me, Jim and Pam are...
It's the story almost over the episode.
Right.
Yeah.
Did I do that
Niagara.
Right? No, I did it right.
I think that's it.
Is that it?
Yeah.
You dumbass.
Niagara?
I don't know.
I didn't think that was correct.
We could Google it.
Maybe I'm the dummy and I can't spell.
Hold on.
Nope, that's it.
I got
Niagara.
Well, I'll Google it.
I'm Googling it. Look, Niagara. Niagara Falls.
Wow.
So, do you know why I know how to spell Niagara? Because Robert Morris played against a Niagara. That's the only reason I know how to spell it.
There you go.
I also can spell Quinnipiac.
So I
know what words not to give him.
So Quinnepiac?
Yeah, that's it. Dundies versus Booze Cruise.
For me,
Ooh.
it's the Dundies.
Yeah, I'm going Dundies
Yeah,
as well.
I like Booze Cruise, and it's one that's like a quintessential episode because it's so early and there's so many big plot lines that are established in it, but the Dundies is the funnier episode.
Is it weird to you that Jim asked that girl out and nothing came of that? That was just like a weird one-off?
No, because if you go back to like why he even asks her out.
Purse girl? What girl?
He calls
Rachel
the short-haired girl. So not Rachel McAdams. He called the short-haired girl who was from corporate that was on the Booze Cruise. The next episode, Jim calls her on the directory and says, "I'm assuming they gave me the directory so I could get your number, and I'm assuming you put your number in said directory because you wanted me to call you. You can either call me back. You can find my number in said directory."
I don't remember that at all.
Maybe that was
She never called him back. Yeah,
that's probably.
Yeah.
But it was when Jim sat across from Kelly because Ryan took his desk,
right,
or something like that. Yeah, Ryan took no.
Yeah, because he transfers at the end of that season after the kiss, and nothing happens
after
of it.
season 2.
So
I'll look into it. There's something there.
Something there.
This one's tough. Safety
it was when
training.
Michael took his desk because Tom Packer pooped in his office. That's why he went back there.
Okay.
Sorry. Get that gift
Todd,
that I left
Todd
you?
Packer. That's 2 thumbs.
I love Tom
I met
Packer.
him at Bonner.
You met the guy who plays Todd Packer at Bonner.
Dude, he's amazing.
Yeah.
He's awesome.
Is he that?
Is he just that dude?
Yeah.
That's
Whammo!
He's
Exactly.
whammy.
Yeah. Whammy.
As
Yeah.
a Gene Tennyson at the plate.
whammy.
You are literally serving bats.
Classic.
Safety training versus the surplus.
Ooh. Safety training.
Boyd.
Safety training.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Dwight, you ignorant slut, is really just the best line in all of The Office, so it needs to at least get out of the first round.
That's wrong.
Yeah, I'm not saying it.
That's wrong.
What am I doing wrong?
Safe Eddie.
Safte.
It's Safe Eddie.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, it's wrong on the thing, too. All right.
It's okay.
There we go. Safety training.
It's because you're not like physically typing it. You know what I mean? Like Boyd can't make fun of you if you're not typing it.
Yeah, exactly.
The injury versus stress relief. So this is the burnt foot versus Stanley's heart attack.
You go first this time, Josh. I'm interested because this is the toughest one by far. Which fun?
I don't think. Well, I don't know because Michael Scott Paper Company versus The Convict is tough too.
That we've had so far, I said.
Oh,
so far, Josh.
So I'm Dwight is my guy, and Dwight has a bigger role in the injury, so I like that more. I don't think that's the better episode, but
you don't think he has a big part in stress relief?
Not well.
Like
he does, but it's like goofy Dwight. It's not like character Dwight.
Okay,
you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like he's the punchline in a lot of it.
Yeah.
Whereas like in the injury, he's like, you know, like he's loving on everybody and like
he's still the punchline in that episode too.
True. He like throws the iPod thing.
Yeah.
Like I mean, like
that.
He's like, oh no, it's broken.
Yeah.
Really?
So
no, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, like he's like nice.
You are taking injury?
I like injury better.
I'm taking stress relief. Boyd, it's up to you.
I'm taking stress relief as
Stress relief. Okay.
Still undefeated.
Like I said, it's the episode I like more, but I don't think is the better episode.
Just the whole everything about that CPR scene.
Yeah.
Oh, and cutting the face off the dummy is awesome.
Clarence.
All right, Michael Scott Paper Company versus The Convict.
Clarence.
Isn't that what he says? No, what is it?
Clarice.
Wow. I haven't seen Silence of the Lambs in a long time.
What are we? Oh, Paper Company versus
The Convict. Michael Scott Paper Company versus Prison Mike and his Dementors.
Man.
I'm going to Scott Paper Company.
I'm going The Convict. Josh, you're up. Simply because.
Sup, El Sassy Deke and new guy with beard.
Sup, Natty.
New guy with beard.
New guy with beard.
Can we change that to my name in the intro?
Absolutely.
We should just name you Greg.
Greg.
Bumpin' Buddies.
All right, so what do we think? Michael Scott Paper Company or Convict?
I went Convict.
Okay.
You went Michael Scott Paper Company. You're up.
Because
it's. I like to give you more reasons to be happy.
I think Michael Scott Paper Company is more important to the show as a whole.
I agree. I just wanted him to feel important.
Wow. I can hear you.
How could you hear that?
No longer undefeated, though. He took that out just for you.
And then he made fun of me and said, I changed my answer. I'm like, fuck you, Judge.
Three-way sweep there.
All right, start from the bottom and go up.
Sure. Stress Relief versus Michael Scott Paper Company.
Stress Relief.
Yeah.
Still undefeated.
Yeah, no,
Whoop, that wasn't it.
Damn, you really pasted that screen down there.
Oh, no.
Oh, what did he do? Can you edit undo? Beer me that disc.
Wow.
Did this just happen?
This just happened. Like, live. I'm so pissed off.
I'm going to the bathroom.
Wow. I'm so mad.
I quit.
I'm so mad.
I quit.
God damn it.
These things happen, bub.
Yours won't be this complicated next week.
Oh, yeah, I forgot that I'm learning.
Okay. And then I want to get rid of this. Go away.
Okay.
Hey, there we go. All right.
There we go.
So we're giving Stress Relief the go. So
Relief. Boom.
okay. Yeah. That's miserable for me.
That's all right.
What are you looking at?
I'm pretending to be me and Derek.
Oh, I like it.
Hi, I'm Derek. I'm an asshole. All right, moving on to
The Dundies and safety training.
The Dundies and safety training. I'm Derek, and I'm definitely going to pick the Dundies. All right, well, I think that...
Did you fix it?
Yeah.
Oh, good.
I just made your pick for you.
I doubt that.
Let's see if I'm right.
Dundies versus safety training.
Dundies. The Dundies.
He called it.
I love it. I love that episode.
The Dundies. You're going safety training?
I'm going safety training just so you have to pick.
Yeah.
Thanks.
You know what I mean? Why make you feel important?
I like safety training.
Fuck him, man. You wanted the Dundies too. Is the worst part. Whatever. I like an underdog story.
Okay. Dinner party.
Threat level midnight.
Threat level midnight over casino.
Easily. I told you that's my two. Those are my. I mean,
Yeah, I'm gonna threat level.
So final four are threat level, midnight, dinner party, safety training, and stress relief.
I'm so mad that those two are together right now.
Dinner party and threat level.
Yeah. Because those are my one. That's my Duke, Kentucky.
I think dinner party.
I'm taking dinner party too. That's my one. I can't give up on my one seed.
Dinner party is the where the hell?
What in the hell?
Dinner party is the one that like literally like they study in college about writing jokes. So
not enough time. There's no time. What episode is that from?
That's what she said. Not enough time.
What is that?
Yeah, I can't remember.
That's a good part too.
There's no time. I literally can't remember. Moving right along.
Safety training versus stress relief.
I'm gonna go stress relief because I love the opening. I love the fact that Dwight keeps bouncing back to corporate to get yelled at. I love that Stanley goes from that character to Florida Stanley. Like, I don't know. Something about stress relief for me set up a lot more than safety training, even though I think safety training had some of the how's it hanging scene for Michael, the cutscene, is perfect. But stress relief is my episode.
Well, it's also, stress relief is boom roasted.
Yes.
And if there's a quote that is more used than Dwight, you ignorant slut, it's probably boom roasted.
Yep.
And that they put that onto a coffee mug too.
Boom roasted.
The whole like his whole thing. Like the whole thing, like him coming in and being like, Stanley, you crush your wife when you have sex.
Oh yeah, that's all. Yeah,
like it's all on a mug. It's sick.
Did you read that Natty said we should call him Big Greg?
Yeah.
What do we call him?
BG.
McAfee then. Greg Mac.
Call him BG.
Yeah, because Greg Mack kind of already has his nickname built in.
Yeah,
but
that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, boom roasted.
Okay. Stress relief. So then it comes down to stress relief and dinner party for the greatest Office episode of all time. And this is really saying something because dinner party is season 4. Stress relief is
6.
Do you know what episode of Mad didn't make it?
What one?
Basketball. That was the episode because I tried about 3 different times to get into The Office start to finish because I had seen skits. I had to watch it consistently and get to basketball. Secret weapon! Secret weapon! I had to get to basketball, and then I was like, wow, I love this show. And, not that the other episodes were bad, but it always takes you a long time to get into any shows. I was surprised that wasn't on here.
It's a good app.
Season 5 has the most, is the most represented in the list.
I believe that.
Believe that. It's a solid season.
Dinner
it's
party.
I was watching today.
Dinner Party is the quintessential episode. It's what every Office fan talks about. It's at the beginning of it's at the top of every list except for Watch Mojo's. But Watch Mojo was definitely looking more as a defining the series than perfect episode kind of theory.
Yeah. When he puts the flat screen into the wall.
Sometimes I just stand here for hours and watch TV.
The best thing is, I'm sure you've watched the blooper episode.
Yeah.
Where he goes, yeah, and if you have people over, it just goes right into the wall. And he tries to hold it.
Won't go.
And then the one is Jim's looking away so he doesn't laugh. And he's like, Jim, over here. Look over here.
I think that's the character that breaks up the most it's on screen.
Jim?
But it works for Jim because it's Jim.
Did you see him breaking the bouncy ball that Dwight's sitting on?
Yeah, when he dives out of it.
That's so when Dwight's sitting on the ball, Jim's like, how much does that cost? He said, only $25 or whatever. And Jim stabs it. Every take before that, it slowly went, this one, it popped. And you hear Jim go, you hear him go, oh shit, and duck out of the screen.
Because he starts laughing.
He's laughing
you can
so
see
hard.
Him laughing,
he's like, whoo, and just out. Because every other one, it was like, but this one popped, and Dwight fell, and Jim and just ran away, and you hear, so I agree with you. But this one for me is a no-brainer. Dinner Party is the greatest episode of The Office. It's not even close for me.
Diner Party.
Spell it?
What?
No, he's just saying diner party.
I was being a jack.
Oh,
she's like, oh, what great wine. We can use it to cook with.
Yeah. Use it to cook with. All right. So dinner party.
Can we watch Threat Level Midnight after this?
Absolutely. Okay. Yeah, it's dinner party. There's no question.
Did you believe it was going to be dinner party when you made this? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I thought the only ones that really stood a shot were Threat Level Midnight and Michael Scott Paper Company.
Yep.
And that's like Murder is one of my all-time favorites. Like
so Murder
it got a
rough match. It got dinner party.
Yeah. If Minner Party, Minner. So I literally go dinner party. I believe Threat Level Midnight, Murder in that order for me in top 3.
Moida.
There's been a Moida.
What episode is it where they watch the shape fit into the corner of the screen during the meeting?
Oh, that is a classic.
Great point.
Because they don't remember it up and just leave the room.
He's like, God, yeah, great meeting.
Yeah.
That's it's right around when Michael Scott leaves, so it's season 7. But also, Goodbye Michael to me could have gone further. But like when they sing to him at the end, like.
Oh yeah, I forgot about the song.
570 minutes.
Yeah.
Whatever it is.
6,000 minutes. Something. I don't know. All right, so draft time.
Squad.
So the draft this week.
Do we remember
is,
last week's order, Josh, out of curiosity?
I know I'm in the middle this week.
Yeah. Boyd went first.
I've had bookends the last 2 weeks. I'm in the middle this week.
I was middle last week.
So you're first?
Sure.
Okay.
Didn't you get... Yeah. No. Shouldn't you be first?
Oh, no, I was
went
first.
last.
I was first because I had Gronk.
Yep.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah. Boy bands. Go watch it, Natty.
Okay, so the draft. 5 actors that should have been in The Office.
Fuck.
So keep in mind that people like Will Arnett, Jim Carrey, Will Ferrell, I mean, there's literally a litany of one-off characters that happen.
I have to look up the one-off so I don't name any because there's ones that you just.
I'll Google it too.
Well, yeah, we were not going to be jacked. Like I'll tell you if they were on.
Yeah. Because one that like I remember when I was putting my list together, I was like, oh, Will Arnett's a good pick, and then oh shit, Will Arnett interviewed to be the next boss.
Yeah.
Oh really?
Yeah, I totally missed
that. Ray Romano.
Yeah, Ray Romano did.
Starts eating his sandwich. I mean, Jim Carrey was only in there for like 3 seconds.
But he's awesome.
People disappear in the Finger Lakes. I told my boss that one day, and she had no idea what I was saying. She was going to... I said, oh, be careful in the Finger Lakes. People disappear in the Finger Lakes. And she was like, what? I was like, I'm not threatening you. It's from The Office. It's from a show.
It's, yeah. All right, so, who's first?
Derek's first.
All right.
It's the actor, not like another character, correct?
Right.
Okay.
It's an actor, and if you want to like preface it with, I see them filling in like Angela role or adding like this type of role to the, whatever you can.
Alive. I think we should do Alive.
I think they would have had to have been able to be in The Office.
Oh, I don't know when he died. Okay.
Tell me. I can Google it.
Well, the first obvious choice for me would be Chris Farley.
Chris Farley was dead.
Okay.
Sure was. 95 or 96 or something like that.
Okay. I knew he had died before because I was
98. Maybe 98. I can't remember.
I knew he died before I could appreciate
everyone but the
him living, I guess is how
Chris Farley as Kevin is freaking incredible.
That's a very good point.
It changes the character dramatically, but also still very funny.
So are we drafting to replace or to add to?
Whatever you want.
Okay. Well, then I'm going to go, he's one of my favorite comedy actors of all time, and I don't know what role he would be in, but it's Adam Sandler. That man, his entire career has played so many different iconic characters, and then also like on movies like Uncut Gem can play, he's comedy. And it's not the same comedy as The Office, but they would find a way to make it work.
He's almost too slapsticky. Yeah, I don't know.
I would like him to be somebody's boyfriend that's only in a few... Like the way that Chris Pratt's character was supposed to be in Parks and Rec, where he was only in an episode here and there.
Right.
I would like Adam Sandler to be somebody's dad or somebody's boyfriend or somebody's husband that's only there. Like maybe a Bob Vance role. That you're only there on very big episodes.
A Bob Vance or a Mose or a...
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Adam Sandler, for me, is top 3 funniest people ever.
Yeah, I give you that.
A lot of the other ones have been on the show. So.
Right. Boyd.
Was Bill Hader ever on The Office?
No, he wasn't.
Bill Hader.
It's a good pick.
Yeah, I honestly I
took from my list with that one.
I was thinking about it and I was like, was he in like one of the episodes where Dwight was like interviewing people, and that's where I immediately
No, but
went.
that one dude that looks like a fox that's also in the volleyball episode looks like an ugly version of him.
I think yeah.
You know who I'm talking about?
Yeah, I know.
You can literally see me Googling it earlier, the Bill Hader in The Office.
I also forgot that what's his Eric Wareheim from Tim and Eric. Mm-hmm. He was in that episode where Dwight was interviewing people. It was like he was one of the kids that went to X-Men camp. That's another great episode.
X-Men camp was.
Oh, you went to X-Men camp too.
Oh man. You're up for 2, Joshy Poo.
Well, hang on. Now I'm contemplating that maybe I was wrong.
So Bill Hader was on an SNL spoof.
Right. Baby Wawa.
Yeah.
Wait, he emulates the character Baby Wawa on an SNL skit.
That doesn't count.
He's playing himself.
I think I retract what I just said. That's on the show.
It is on the show.
It's in the finale.
In the last episode.
So Bill Hader's in now.
Fuck.
Wow.
Great pick, though.
Literally, they did it. They thought it's such a good idea, they did it.
They didn't pick Adam Sandler.
Seth Rogen? Was Rogen ever on
Seth Rogen interviewed for the role of Dwight.
Yeah.
That's okay.
There's early footage of it, but yeah, that's a good one.
No, yeah, it's just him interviewing for Dwight. All right, Seth Rogen
Jim
works.
thought he was going to be Dwight. He almost didn't accept the role of Jim because he thought he was going to be Dwight. I always thought that was weird.
Yeah.
That Jim would be Dwight?
Yeah.
That would be super weird.
I don't get that at all. All right. The greatest actor of his generation, Paul Rudd, is my first overall pick.
Oh.
Paul Rudd can fit in anywhere. He's the most perfect actor, human ever, Paul Rudd.
It's an okay pick.
And then my second is my spirit animal, Chris Pratt.
So I tried to avoid Parks and Rec guys.
I did it because here's the deal.
Because I probably would have taken Offerman. I don't know. It's so uniquely weird.
Chris Pratt, to me, though, can fit into that cast very well.
Well, that's because Parks and Rec was just not rehashed, but a lot of the same names. You know what I mean? But Chris Pratt also did so well in his role that he developed that character because they weren't going to keep it.
Right.
Andy wasn't supposed to be a main guy.
And I'm a Michael Schur fanboy, so you'll see a lot of my picks are very like Michael Schur heavy.
There's a reason to it.
Right.
I mean,
all I've been thinking of right now is trying to remember what his powers were in that episode when they were talking about X-Men camp, because it's so funny. Like it's like the most obvious stuff. It's like, you know, like the ability to not see when I have my eyes closed. Like it's just like very stupidly like common things. Anywho, am I up?
Yep.
Yeah. Bill Murray.
I just want to make sure he wasn't.
No.
On the show? Fuck no.
Yeah, okay. All right.
It's interesting
he
because...
could replace Creed in my eyes.
Oh. It's pretty good.
I feel like Michael references... There's a lot of universe stuff. So Danny Cordray, they reference... I think he was on... I forget what show he was on, but they make a joke about the show Danny Cordray was on.
Oh, really?
And then they have the actor... Yeah, they do that a few times where they kind of mess up, but it's also like tongue-in-cheek, haha.
I'm real mad about Bill Hader. Kind of fucked my whole thing up.
I'm going to go Neil Patrick Harris.
That's...
For the... I don't know what... Like, he would definitely be some kind of one-off manager or the Danny Cordray era. Like
Neil Patrick Harris is a great pick, though. I love that pick.
I think that they didn't do enough with Danny Cordray. So I would like to see that be...
Well, because that was the first time they tried to test the Jim-Pam relationship, and the audience rebelled so hard against it.
Agreed. And I'm trying to think of more, like... I'm gonna go...
Yours are a lot older. Like, Neil Patrick Harris would have been older in The Office.
Oh, yeah.
Adam Sandler would have been older.
I mean, I think, especially during the Michael era, the comedy was seasoned.
Right.
And then the transition to a younger thing was because that's what the cast kind of was. I just had one. Sugar, honey, iced tea. Jason Segel. I believe that he is one of my favorite actors of all time. And the reason being that all of his comedies and all of his movies and everything he's in is like, I don't know, it's just...
no, that fits. That
I love
tracks.
him. He's a very, like, just, normal humor, which fits The Office for me. And I know I'm taking a lot of How I Met Your Mother, but...
But he can also play the pathetic role, but also play, like, the funny guy. I mean, he really does have that...
I Love You Man versus Forgetting Sarah Marshall. Those are two.
Right.
And it was funny because, through your times in lives of breakup, you're like, I don't want to be Forgetting Sarah Marshall, Jason Segel. I don't want to be...
She wanted my cereal to be fresh.
Ryan Gosling, not Jason Segel. Ryan Gosling, not Jason Segel.
Right.
But yeah,
I like the Jason Segel
when
pick
you look
a lot.
at movies like This Is the End or whatever, and he's like, and I walk in the kitchen and I have cake all over my face, and they're like, oh, I didn't eat the cake. Like he knows what he is.
So Natty, who said he's never watched an episode of The Office, but he says that Ron Swanson could have played Dwight. It's a different type of Dwight.
It's a completely different type.
But
it's more if Dwight, like his badges and his honors aren't a joke.
Right.
They're real.
Right.
So it's,
Well, but I think Nick Offerman could have played Dwight.
The only reason I don't know if he could is because I love his giggle. Like, it's so funny, dude. But I think he could have.
Yeah. Boyd, you're up.
This is tough.
Yeah, it is because like
I want to pick Jim Carrey so bad. I'm so glad you didn't get Bill Hader because that was a great
pick.
He's so good.
Like it's just hard because like it's hard to think of how these people would fit into the show.
Right.
But I guess like they don't necessarily have. Do they have to be mainstays? Could they just be?
No, like he said, Adam Sandler is somebody's husband.
Galifianakis.
Ooh. So here's the deal. I want Zach Galifianakis and Michael Scott to be, Zach Galifianakis and Steve Carell to be in more shit together.
Really?
One of my favorite stupid movies is Dinner for Schmucks.
Yep.
Never saw it.
It's on
it's
Netflix
incredible.
Right now. Really? Amazing.
It's incredible.
It's Paul Rudd at his best. It's
Steve Carell at his best.
I think I actually may have started to watch it on a flight. Never.
It is. So one of my I consider all Jason Segel movies the perfect hungover Sunday movie. Because you're just going to throw it on, whether you're paying attention, whatever. Dinner for Schmucks is a little more like you need to kind of pay attention. But at the same time, like it's a movie you can just put on, and no matter what point you view it, it is amazing.
And I laugh the entire way through it.
Yeah, Steve Carell's amazing.
I really do. It's brilliant.
And it's Octavius, I can't think of her last name. The actress, she's the one that can talk to dead animals, and they all get served fish at dinner, and she's freaking out. Oh, it's so good.
Sorry, I just have to because I've been looking for it.
Go ahead.
Eric Wareheim's character's name was Gabor, if you remember him, and his superpowers were hearing at night and making dogs understand where he points. He's like, I have night hearing, and I can make dogs understand where I point.
That is the greatest superpower.
My next pick is Jason Mantzoukas.
Ooh,
who's that? I'm sure I'm going to
pull
know
him up.
Mantzoukas. I thought.
Rafi Bomb.
It's a no-brainer, right? It's literally a no-brainer. He's Derek in The Good Place, and he is Jay in Big Mouth, and he's in
Rafi from The League.
Rafi from the League. He's
I was gonna say
he's in Sleeping with Other People. I mean,
he's in Casino Night or something like that with Will Ferrell and Amy.
Yeah, he's incredible. He fits into whatever's thrown in front of him. He's one of my favorites. And then I'm also gonna take Hannibal Buress.
Okay, fuck you.
Is that who you're gonna take?
He was gonna be my rear end pick.
Your closer.
Yeah.
Yeah, Hannibal Buress to me is I love him in Broad City.
He's great.
Okay, I only know him as the comedian, so
that
makes sense.
Hannibal Buress is also in Broad City.
He's hilarious.
And he's hilarious.
I love his
He's also
Broad
on
City.
the Eric Andre show.
His stand-up is he's like, tell me a joke, funny man. His whole his stand-up is hysterical.
I think Hannibal Buress too, could have been Daryl.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Very similar. 100%. That's a good, yeah.
Dinkin Flicka.
I'm trying to think of like a good warehouse person.
I know. I'm trying to think of a chick in a warehouse.
Give me.
Should we make it one chick?
Give me Nick Kroll.
Sure. Nick Kroll was on my list. Yeah.
Damn, we're gonna make it a chick. All right. I might have to do a little research real quick.
Me too.
What would be good?
Nick Kroll's a good pick.
Actually, I got a couple.
Nick Kroll.
I should have went with more chicks. Actually, I don't know
Nick
what I was
Kroll
thinking.
could have literally played his role on Parks and Rec in The Office as the douche. He's like the
I've never
shock
watched
jock.
Parks and Rec,
He's
so.
the shock jock in the morning.
Yes. Oh,
He's just a great
I need to rewatch Parks and
goofball.
Rec.
He's like a great jobber character. Like he's just plug and play. And he like the skit Pennsylvania on the Kroll Show. If you've never watched that,
I've only watched bits and pieces of the Kroll Show, but I mean,
it's
he's
not
the
a lot
league
of it.
also. I
not
love
a lot of the Kroll Show is good, but like there were like parts from the Kroll Show got taken. Like characters from the Kroll Show made it basically to Big Mouth essentially, and then like,
that's Lola.
Yeah, Lola
is from that.
Like there's a skit where he has like a brother that's from Philly and he plays the Pittsburgh. Or no, it's vice versa. He plays the Philly guy, and then the other guy's from Pittsburgh, and it's called Pennsylvania, and it's like the two. So it's like they come in and they're like, "Bro, I'm looking for this," like it's so fucking goofy, but it's so funny.
Hannibal Buress snitched on Bill Cosby to be famous. That's what Natty's saying.
Oh, I have no idea.
What?
Let's look it up.
News to me.
You just saw the name, Josh. You know that's not how it's spelled.
You know better.
He made a joke about Bill Crosby's sexual assault.
Huh.
Wow. I mean, I feel him.
Okay.
I'm up for my last two.
Yeah.
I cannot stop thinking about simple SNL individuals, but
Sure.
I'm going to go for my female,
Okay.
Mila Kunis.
Huh.
Interesting.
I believe that as outstandingly beautiful as she is, I am sold on the many roles that she has played that she can be
Plain?
Very plain.
I would say Meg, but it's an animated show, so it's like.
But she embodies the character. I mean, it's hard because you don't see her, but to kind of Derek's point, she can get that done.
I see Meg,
Yeah.
I don't see Mila, and it's.
But like even, I mean, I'll keep going down this route since I'm down this rabbit hole with Jason Segel, but like forgetting Sarah Marshall, like she's obviously outstandingly beautiful, but she gives off this very like yo, I don't want anything serious.
She's
like, let's just
she can play
chill.
down to earth.
Yeah, and just
I mean, they made Rachel McAdams look basic.
that's a good point.
It's not. That was not easy.
I saw her once in real life, and she is the most perfectly symmetrical human I've ever seen. And I was like, oh, that's Hollywood. That's what it looks like. Fame.
I saw J-Lo in person, and that shit's crazy.
I'm surprised you're still a functioning human.
She was
I would have short-circuited.
4 feet from in front of me.
Would have short-circuited.
I did, kind of.
You just
that was a
explode.
wild day.
That was a wild day.
What else did you do
I
that
got
day?
high with David Crosby from Crosby, Stills, and Nash. Saw J-Lo walk by, like literally 4 feet away from me, and then Paul McCartney waved goodbye to us from his Jaguar convertible.
That's
What
hard.
life
Wild
you
day.
lead.
Did he have
It was a
wings
wild
on?
day.
That's a wild day.
I-
Are you sure it happened? That's my
know.
first question.
crazy.
I believe you got high with Crosby, Stills, Nash, and Young, but seeing J-Lo and Paul McCartney feels like it went from like 7 to 10 real
It was
quick.
just like, and it all happened within like 45 minutes. Like I was high when Paul McCartney waved hi to us. So
Wow.
it was a.
No.
Anywho,
I will take my favorite human on the planet.
Oh, jeez.
One Donald Glover.
Ooh, I almost picked. Well, I don't want to give it away, but
I mean, I think I can say triumphantly he is my favorite human on the planet currently.
understandable. It's hard not to. You could just do a show with what you got right there. To be honest,
Yeah, I'm very happy.
I
with
mean,
my
you
crowd.
really could do your own show. Boyd.
Kate McKinnon.
Duh.
Okay.
Duh.
You didn't take a chick yet, did you?
No.
A woman.
A lady.
I can only think of SNL cast members, and she didn't come to mind, and I regret it because I
That's
think
the
she's one of the
perfect
best
pick.
female cast members I've ever seen on SNL.
You know what I watched? She was in did either of you see that Beatles movie that came out like last year?
Mm-mm.
It was called Yesterday.
Yeah, I liked the premise of it.
Yeah, no, I want to see it.
She was in it, like she played his manager in it, and she was really good. But I'm sure
want to see that.
She'd be great in The Office. The fuck? You got your list over here?
Oh yeah, I always have a list, bud.
So Bang Bang, man. Yeah, I mean, I thought of Tina Fey. I thought of.
Well, hang on, I gotta make my pick.
Well, you're not gonna make it yet.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. You're last, aren't you? Or did you go first?
I think.
Last pick.
Yeah,
he's just freaking out.
You're already done.
Yeah, I'm naming people, but he wants a little allure.
If we're taking our favorite people on the planet type scenario, and I already have Chris Pratt and
Missy Elliott, Queen Latifah.
Yeah, all of them. I got to take Alison Brie. Alison Brie is my
who is Alison
my
Brie?
biggest
What is
probably
she in?
celebrity crush. Oh, what isn't she in? All right.
She's in Community.
She's in Community. She's in
saw it.
Glow.
Never saw it.
She's in
Girl Ladies of Wrestling.
Some
all
fucking
sorts
superstar.
of. She's in Lego Movie.
Never saw it. Just
Like,
kidding.
sleeping with other people.
How am I supposed to know what she does in the Lego movie?
Yeah, what else? I've heard her name from something.
She's
big.
in Mad Men.
Never saw it.
Oh man, guys. I mean, she's
Said
huge
everything.
to me.
You're scrolling.
She a
American
TV
Dad
star?
ones?
But don't focus on animated shows. I can't see what she's doing.
I can't see any other show. I took my contacts out.
Oh yeah.
I mean, this is
She's in a
what
show
she
called
looks
Hot
like.
Sluts.
Alison
Oh wait, she's
Brie.
isn't she?
Alison Brie.
Yeah.
Alison Brie. What I like, she's married to Dave Franco.
Love Dave Franco. Fun fact.
What I like about Alison Brie is that she has some serious comedy chops, but she also can like really dive into a bunch of other characters. She's really well rounded.
So
What else is she in?
BoJack Horseman.
Yeah.
No, there's
Girl.
something where I recognize her.
Drunk History. No, she only did
Get
one
Hard.
episode.
She's the wife in Get Hard.
Yeah.
She's that,
Yeah.
okay.
Yep.
And Get Hard.
So she's Will Ferrell's wife, and because that movie's amazing. No, she is very funny.
Yeah. She's very funny, and in Glow, she's able to look pretty plain.
She's in Get a Job. That
She's in
really
a lot
weird
of
Miles
stuff,
Teller
man.
and a Kendrick
Movies that
movie.
I've never seen. I can't. Like I feel. I don't know.
No, I remember her mostly because she was wearing lingerie on Will Ferrell, and I said
Right.
that sucks for that woman.
Oh, she was in Scream 4. Fuck.
She was in Tom and Jerry and the Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory.
Oh, that TV show Hot Sluts. How could I forget?
Some other people I had on my list. Kristen Bell.
I could only think of Kristen Wiig for a minute
That's
there.
fine, though. She would do well. Lisa Kudrow.
I thought about Jason Momoa
What?
What?
because of like...
Because I took him last week?
No, because
you
there
take
aren't that many people that join The Office that are strikingly beautiful individuals. Like, not to talk crap.
Kevin?
So if he...
Hello?
I would
Meredith?
argue that Idris Elba is the most attractive person that's
hands
ever
down.
been on.
And that's why they have to like put it into the character.
I guess there is... I'm going to call her the redhead.
Rachel McAdams.
No, she is not in The Office.
Yes.
Jim's first... Rachel McAdams?
Or is it Rachel Adams?
Rachel Adams.
Mick
Adams is Southpaw and Mean Girls.
It messes with me that there's two of them.
Yes.
It's
Rachel
totally
Adams.
ridiculous.
One's Mick and one's just...
Okay,
Adams.
but it's the same. And they're both just like super attractive, like leading ladies.
Well,
it messes with
if there
me.
was a burger spot called McDonald's and a spot called Donald's, I don't think they'd be the same. They'd be burger joints that, this is fast food. I don't want to go to McDonald's. I want to go to Donald's. They got a better deal. They got the 2 for $9.99.
All I can think of is Whack Arnold's, right?
You smell like French fries.
I hate you guys. Big Rashida Jones fan, though. I'll admit
Rashida
that.
Jones, Kristen Bell, Lisa Kudrow, Ben Schwartz, who is John Ralphio,
B. Schwartz.
Amy Schumer.
He's bigger than I anticipated him to be.
Yeah.
Schumer.
Judah Freelander.
What's the other like SNL?
Tina Fey.
No.
Amy Poehler.
No.
She's on Maya Rudolph.
No.
She's on right now. A.D. Bryant.
No, I don't think she's on right
Cecily Strong. I don't know.
Oh,
I
you
got
know
one.
what?
now. Yeah, what was her name? Kiz.
What is that show?
A.D. Bryant's awesome. She's on that show where the dude...
Yes, A.D. Bryant is. We
Yeah.
should not have left her off this
She's
list.
amazing.
She's incredible.
Yeah.
She would have been perfect in The Office.
The only reason I did is because it's Mila Kunis.
I think Mark Maron would have been freaking great on The Office.
Who's that?
Mark Maron?
Mark Madden?
Yeah, Mark Madden.
I cut a clip from Mark Madden earlier. I said good day.
Mark Maron. You know this guy?
Nope.
No. Mark Maron's a comedian and podcaster and been in a bunch of movies. He's in Glow. Allison Brie, Paul Rust, who is Gus in Love, for those of you who know what Love is. Jillian Jacobs, shout out Pittsburgh girl. She was in Community as well.
Was Chelsea Handler on SNL?
No. Chelsea Handler's just
Kristen Wiig. That's her name. Couldn't remember.
Kristen Wiig would have been good.
Wanda Sykes would be good.
Yeah. Maya Rudolph.
Sarah Silverman.
Tina Fey, Amy Poehler. And the one I wanted to pick as my last pick, but I needed to take a woman, was mine would have been Fred Armisen.
He's great.
He's every time Fred Armisen's on screen, like my wife will attest that I sit up in my chair because I'm ready. I'm
actually
excited.
Mad that he didn't get picked because he's actually a really great fit.
He is and this is going to sound, he's an A- Bill Hader, and what I mean by that, no, Bill Hader's over Fred Armisen.
Not in my book. I'm dead serious. Not in my book.
The man of a million characters is not ahead of a guy of two.
Whoa! He's also a man of a million characters. Fred Armisen. Absolutely.
A million characters.
Fred Armisen is just as talented as Bill Hader.
All right, we're done here.
I'm dead serious.
We're done here.
It's like you guys have never watched Portlandia.
It's like you've never heard of Bill Hader.
I'm telling you, I would watch Fred Armisen every day over Bill Hader.
That's crazy. I couldn't. I wouldn't. I'd enjoy Fred Armisen, but man, it's fucking Hader, brother.
Bill Hader, dude.
It's like he's the fucking man.
Bill Hader is the guy.
I'll go on YouTube and just watch videos of Bill Hader's doing impersonations for like a half an hour.
I don't like Bill Hader the person very much.
Wow.
Why?
I just don't like him.
Well, anybody that's watching, we're looking for a new intern. What's this program called?
OBS.
Make sure you run OBS.
No, let me ask. I mean, a lot of Fred Armisen's characters are with other people. Bill Hader's always by himself. And I'm not saying that's the litmus test for being better, but what I'm saying is Bill Hader's characters,
it's interesting.
They really do
Unless you're talking
stand
about
alone.
Cops and Superbad, because you need Rogan there for that one.
But no, like so the whole like what was it? Jim Conk's Friends, where it's Fred Armisen and they're like, well, no, he's okay. Like, very funny. But Stefano on SNL, where he's like, let me tell you about a new club in New York where you have to get in if you wear pink socks on white legs, and then you get on the other side where you wear gray pants rolled up the whole way. And he's breaking. Oh, dude, that is sorry. I
take your point though that Bill Hader carries it on his own, and Fred Armisen's a better
and it's not
ensemble
necessarily
piece.
A knock, but that's
a good point. It's a really good point.
I still think it's bullshit that I couldn't have Bill Hader.
He's in the show.
He's in the show.
But he played himself.
He's in the show, man.
But he played himself.
Here, I would argue this. Conan played himself, and I would have attested you cannot take him.
Who?
Conan.
But it's...
You arguably couldn't take Tina Fey, even though it wasn't her.
Yeah.
Damn.
All right, let's wrap it up, Josh.
Okay. That's all I got. Just telling you.
Looks like it's
All
wrapped
right,
up.
ladies and gentlemen, this was the best episode of Idiot Hour we've ever had. Thank you, Josh, for putting together a wonderful episode, even though the starting bracket, just murder and dinner party right there screwed me, man. But this was perfect. This was the best episode. We'll never peak past this. Now we're going to go watch Threat Level Midnight.
It's a threat level. Can you do the Scarn Boyd?
Do you know that's Andy?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, okay, good.
The dance?
Yeah. Do you know how to do the Scarn?
Do the scarn?
I don't know how to do it off.
Tie some yarn. That's how I do the scarn. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching the Idiot Hour. We will see you next week. Bye-bye.
I'll have set up in a slideshow.
Okay.
So basically.
Warning. This show contains spoilers.
You come to welcome, then Derek introduces you, there's your 3-pair, then you're going to be into a discussion slide, okay? In the discussion, all you do, hit the next arrow.
Oh, fire. Okay.
And it's Ask the Internet is next week, so it's just a bunch of goofy questions from Reddit, so it's not that hard.
Okay.
And then whatever we want the draft to be, these will already be set up for you. All you do is double click on them, and then type in whatever you want.
Okay. And it'll have like the little lines and everything.
Yeah, I already have so the way you'll see it is it'll look like this when you
like
get
dashes,
it.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Cool.
And Derek knows how to use this software too, so don't feel like you need to absolutely panic, and then you just double click it and type in whatever.
Cool. Seems pretty easy.
It
Well, for this part.
Right. And already have, when Derek plugs this in, the cameras and this and all that will already be set. You won't have to worry